Policemen invaded the House of Assembly, led by the Commissioner of Police. What was he doing in the House of Assembly? I believe in removal. There's no impeachment in the Assembly. You cannot impeach Speaker. Probably there's a mistake from them. You can only remove one of them. You can only.
In line with the provision of section of 92, section 2, section C of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, I hereby move that the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, be removed as Speaker of this House Assembly for the following reason. 1. Gross misconduct and poor leadership, including perpetual lateness to legislative sessions and meetings. 2. High-handedness and lack of regard for honorable member at all times, intimidation and suppression.
Well, I'm sure you're aware of the entire drama that's ongoing in the Lagos State House of Assembly, and we're going to talk about it right away. We do have very distinguished guests joining us here on Breakfast Central this morning. I'm going to start off first to my very right. We do have PDP chieftain who joins us here. Dr. Adetokunbo Pearse joins us here. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Good morning.
Great. And also to our far left, we also have a public affairs analyst, one who they've dubbed to be the outspoken man himself. We do have Mr. B. Baron joins us here as well. Thank you for being here. This is a conversation that everyone is talking about over the weekend. I'm going to start off first with you, Mr. Pearse. What have you made out of this entire drama, back and forth and so on and so forth? What can you make out of it?
It's unfortunate that when politicians have a problem within their political family, they just don't take it easy. They don't believe in the rule of law anymore. Much as I agree with Honorable Obasa that he shouldn't have been kind of embarrassed in the way it happened, because I understand he was in America when he was impeached. So, but once that has taken place, I think he should have just gone into the background. We have the same problem in PDP. We have an acting national chairman who we don't want anymore according to the Constitution and the support from the National Working Committee, but he refused to go. And doing this and doing that, continuing to stay and just muddy the process, I think it is not dignified. I think it's an act of irresponsibility. This show that Obasa is putting up there is making his case worse. He's going to destroy every possibility of being able to function within his party. So I think it's, at least from that point of view, I think he should have taken it easy.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pearse. Mr. Baron, let's start with due process concerns. Honorable Obasa claims due process wasn't followed in the impeachment proceedings. We saw his triumphant re-entry into Lagos over the weekend, and he said he's still the speaker. So what are we expecting at plenary today, and what do you make of the statements he's made so far, especially with regards to due process?
I agree with the gentleman that spoke and his remarks. I covered that house for more than 7 years before I became a good political editor. In the House of Assembly, all members are equal. I'm talking as a person that understands the setup, the runnings of legislature, you know. And if you don't like your face, don't even commit offense. That today you are wearing agbada instead of wearing suit. And if they don't like your face, they can move immediately and remove you. So what he was saying on Saturday, just like what he said, baradash. One, the way he spoke on Saturday was indecent. There was no any composure. Two, as a former speaker of the Constitutional Assembly for more than 9 years, I was thinking that he will understand the rules, the due process, and the Constitution. But what he displayed on Saturday was ignorance and arrogance. You know, This guy was removed by his fellow lawmakers. 32 lawmakers wrote this thing against him, allegation, and they moved somebody to remove him.
Yeah, he said the original mix.
32, and out of 40 in the legislature, for goodness sake, it's simple majority. No need to talk. We don't need to talk to remove a member of the executive, either the governor or his cabinet members. But these guys woke up and allowed them to be planning for 3 months. And I don't understand very well in that place. They've been planning this since October. It came to a head in November when he was messing up with the governor. He kept the governor waiting for more than 5 hours. On the day was to present the budget. You know, the governor of the state, that is because of the natural character of Lagos politics anyway. So when he now came, there was no apology. Now when the thing got to still ahead, now this guy got to go. So they are waiting for the right time. So when they traveled, they moved against him. He said, no, Martin. I was a friend of Mamora, the one I met there. I was a friend of Belumi. And they even go for Ruji. These are decent men. But this man, what he exhibited on Saturday was uncalled for.
Let's look at the drama that's unfolded from when before he was eventually removed from office. There were insinuations that when the current governor was looking to recommission his commissioners, that the former speaker, let's address him as the former speaker now, was one of those who stood at the forefront and say some of these commissioners would not return because they are not politicians, they were sitting in their house. And he said that in a video, which, of course, many could allude to. Dr. Pearse, do you think that many saw this coming, his impeachment, his removal? Many saw it coming already, looking at the way and manner in which he spoke and the way he addressed even the governor himself?
You know the saying, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. When a person has been in office he has been in the assembly for 22 years, 22. That means since the beginning of current political dispensation. He has been there. And out of those 22 years, he's been speaker for 10. Come on. I think that diminishing returns are setting. He has offended so many people. But you see, look, I'm sorry to say, but this has exposed the corruption and the lack of professionalism in the National Assembly, in the State Assembly of Lagos State. This man, for 10 years, has been behaving this way. They've been doing all sorts of funny things. I mean, look, all he has done is to approve budgets that will not be serviced, because Lagos State has not been given any service. The governor has only been a special advisor or PA to Tinubu all his life. That's what they call him in town. You know, Tinubu's ATM. That's all they do. And Obasa has been one of them. He's been going along with it and going along with it. So now he feels that it's his turn to benefit. He should move up. That's why he wants to be governor. That's what got him in trouble. Everything else has been on for a long time. It came to a head when he started thinking that he's good enough to be governor of Lagos State. And you know, other people, there's so many other powerful interests.
They also mentioned that at the floor of the assembly.
Sure.
Yeah.
And in fact, they said that he began to prioritize his own personal interests over assembly matters. So that is the problem. They say Obasa doesn't have a law degree, he claims to be a lawyer. You know, he's been there all this time, they know that. But that's part of the problem in Nigerian politics. I mean, doctors, you know, that don't have doctorate. They say they're doctors. I say, are you an MD or a PhD like me? Which one are you? You know, which school did you go to?
Or honorary doctor.
Yeah, well, honorary doctor. Look, there are different types of honorary doctors. You could become an honorary doctor because of your professional achievement. Yeah. You know, a university could make you an honorary doctor. But when you go and buy doctorate in Kutonu, that's a different story. No? So this man is not. But then the president himself calls himself an accountant. He's a bogus accountant. If you don't have CPA, you are not an accountant. So this is the problem in Nigerian politics. We have a guy who ran for governor in PDP. He calls himself Dr. Jandor. I said, where did you get this doctorate from? What kind of doctor? So we have too much rubbish in our system. And what is going on now, the way this speaker has comported himself, I mean, it's embarrassing. He doesn't seem to be, that's a man who's been the speaker for 10 years. No wonder Lagos is not standing still.
Thank you, Dr. Pearse. Now, Mr. Bib Aruna, let's get to the nitty-gritty of it. The allegations against the former Speaker Obasa, some of them are quite weighty. Let's look at corruption, for example, and the inner workings of the State Assembly. It's alleged that it misappropriated 16 billion for a gate. I mean, how much did they construct Gateway Hotel in Ota for? 16 billion for a single gate and 1 billion for Hilux. I don't think inflationary levels have gotten to that level yet, and God forbid it will get to a point where one Hilux vehicle will cost 1 billion. Does the Speaker have that much power to sign over this? And you have other members in the State House of Assembly. What do you make of this allegations that they will all sit down and somebody will appropriate 16 billion for a gate or 1 billion for Hilux? How does it work?
I think you can easily get your answer to the scenario that the PDP chieftain just painted. You know, that is the way they run the house. You know, most of the lawmakers call him Ogasa.
But is it constitutional?
Ogasa. No, it's not constitutional. Some of these things, you see, some of the way and manner they run the house assembly, not only in Nigeria, it's a global thing. It's through conventions. But must be based on the constitution of the country. And that's what people are saying, that was it removed in line with the constitution? Was it? Yes. Did he commit offense? I don't know. But offense is what the lawmakers describe it to be. So the issue we are talking about, allegation of corruption, that should be left for the committee to investigate. It's alleged to have committed those things, you know. But if you look at the character, the personality of that guy, how can you be the Speaker of Lagos State out of Assembly after the tenure of Ikufuriji, tenure of the distinguished senator, former Senator Mamora? I was in that house. And because of my nature, all of them are my friends, even today. You know, they're my friends. So when I see an Obasa who emerged to play a role in cementing the hegemony, you should now understand why we are facing this problem. The man was never a chief in council, he was chief and council. In other words, he decides everything.
Almost an institution.
Absolutely. And very crude, for that matter. There's no finesse in the way he operates. You know, every other person, if you come out against him, he will decimate you. Literally, decimate you. One of the guys that came in, wanted to contest against him, the lawmaker, the gentleman from Ekpe, almost fell into deep depression. They dealt with him. So what we are facing is something that has been brewing for a long time. It will be resolved, boss. Get it right. Let me just preempt you. It will be resolved. They will resolve it in a family way.
But
what of the nature and character?
But is he going to return as Speaker?
But it will be there. All the things we are seeing, they are covering it up to allow peace to reign. What he said, you know, I'm an APC member because I was my Oga and body was in APC, my former boss.
Sure.
You know, but the fact remains that there should be a way that we select leaders in Nigeria. Not just because I believe in you, that you can help me in consummating an agenda. They should be there. No. How about the general interest of the people that are involved in that particular jurisdiction? That should be, to me, it should be given more consideration than just allow people to take over office. Look at what he did on Saturday. Even the way he dressed, look at the way he was talking. My friend, the Speaker of the Assembly. That is minus zero.
It begs, I mean, we need answers to questions like, let me also come to you, Dr. Pearse. A lot of opposition parties are saying that this seems like a crack on the wall for APC, and it's like it's going to lead to an eventual loss of the state when it comes to 2027 especially during the elections. Do you think the same? Does PDP see it that way? Do you think there's an internal crisis that could eventually erupt so bad that it would implode the APC?
Personally, I don't think so. You see, let me take it from what this gentleman who knows them very well has said. You see, Obasa was never qualified to be the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly in the first place. He was a political jobber used by the powers that be, foremost President Tinubu, who controls everything in Lagos state politics. That's his base. He owns everybody there. When the budget, no matter how much to build a gate, what they do with that money is that they share the money. They all agree that this is a farce, but the reason why they pad it up in such a way is that they will use a fraction to build the gate, and they will use the other money for other things. Most of it personally. That's the corruption which Obasa has been on top of. He mastered the art of crookedness in doing that. All the money they needed for the 2023 election, they got it through him. He's not the one that sat on the bench in the Lagos State Assembly and made Alpha Beta a legal entity in the Lagos State Assembly, getting money directly. Everybody that has tried to clean up this mess have been removed. You talked about some of the most respectable politicians in Lagos, Mamura, Ambode. Once they start doing the right thing for the state, they remove them. The reason this man stayed for 10 years is because he was doing the right thing for the powers that be and the wrong thing for the people of Lagos. We were suffering under this man's leadership. The only thing that got him into trouble, this is not the first time they pad a budget. The only thing that got into trouble is because he has gone too ambitious now. He wants to be governor. Trust me, all the corruption, it's going to continue. If you are not ready to play ball, they cannot make you speaker. So that's what's going on. When you begin to stand for what is right, Mamura, how can a Mamura be deprived of going back to the Senate? Notice, so this is the problem. When Ambode started doing the right thing and started doing this, moving and improving, you know, my mother's from Ekpe, so I felt very bad. The minute the man started developing Ekpe for the first time in the history of Lagos, they cut him down. That's the problem with Lagos. Even Raji Fashola, the first term, he did a lot of work. Second term, they shut him down because he was doing too much. You know this and I know it. Tell you, take it easy. We didn't tell you to come and do so much work. You know, so now what we're getting is this guy is exposed. They're going to cover it up. It's not going to affect the election because election in Lagos State is rigged anyway. We never had a credible election in Lagos State because all this problem, they've gone to Abuja now, they've seen President Tinubu, he's endorsed this whole process, that it's okay, it's over. Now, the new speaker is in place, Obasa is gone. In fact, Obasa is gone forever. In fact, I don't think he has anything to do in APC anymore. So they're going to regroup and get ready. That's not how we win election in Lagos. I wish it could be a reflection on the party, APC, but no, APC knows how to win election. They're going to go, regroup. The president he must have told them, because he was angry with them with the way they did this. They didn't do it, it wasn't neat. Well, Tinubu will make it so neat, you won't even know what happened. You just be gone. You saw when they got rid of Ambo, they couldn't see anything. When they got rid of Mamura, all of us were just wondering what happened, you know, because he knew how to do it. These guys, you know, they didn't know what to do. But clearly, it's constitutional. 32 out of 40. I don't know. I've been waiting. I've been reading so much about this. It says it's not constitutional. Okay. What is the constitutional way of doing it? He never
He
said
said
it.
he wasn't present. He wasn't in the
They're
house.
supposed to be in the house.
And the mace they used was a fake mace.
a fake
'Cause
mace.
He
kept-
allegedly hid the two maces.
You see? In fact, that's a criminal act. He's the one that should be in trouble.
Now let me come to Mr. Haruna. Just following up on political stability of the APC. Are they going to pay for this? Would it reflect in the polls? And, since the return of our democratic experience in 1999, uninterrupted, the APC has metamorphosized from AD, ACN to what it is today. It's been a one-party state since 1999. And then we're seeing this fighting, to put it that way. And they say a house divided cannot stand on its own. Do you think this would affect APC in the polls? And where does the ordinary Lagosian stand in this? Do they even care about the people that voted for them in all of this? Because all we're seeing is infighting among political bigwigs. But the taxpayers, the ones that use the roads, the ones that are governed, it seems they're not even mentioned in all of this.
That is the paradox in democracy and politics. That's one thing we discovered. I want to touch on two things. One, Lagos elections have been credible. The PDP in Lagos State are not organized. You cannot sum it up that Lagos since 1999, Lagos elections have been credible. Just last election, Obi defeated Tokunbo in Lagos State. I'm going to show you that elections are credible. No election is perfect anywhere in the world, but the election, the result of the election, the outcome, has been a reflection of the wishes of the people. That is one. Two is that, you see, no matter what you say against Tokunbo has been able to stabilize the state. The past 25, 26 years. He's able to stabilize the state. There's really no infighting among his people. He's able to be a father to all. He's not a perfect man, but Lagos State, the way he met it in 1999, is not the way it is now. That is the fact.
Is it better?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I may not agree with his kind of politics at times, but he's been able to develop the state. I was involved, I told you, with somebody, and I can tell you that anything that is going on in Lagos State, the man is more than casual observer. It's always making sure that things are done in the right way, to pick the right people. I'm telling you this. Then, you see, the governors that have been picked in Lagos State, they've also been following a template. And if someone pick Ambode, for example, that person is pragmatic. You pick Fashola, for example, that person is not doing bad. That person wants the best for the state. It's not a perfect scenario. And the PDP may have their own grounds, but they should go and put their house in order so they can challenge the hegemony, the formidability of APC in Lagos State. Lagosians, as you said, that is a very tricky question. But
It's very valid.
Very, very valid. But if you compare Lagos with other states, in terms of development, in terms of security, in terms of taking care of welfare.
Well, many will still tell you that Lagos is
still
not
better
secured.
by far.
You still have street urchins
I'm
everywhere.
State. I can tell you what is going on there. Look at other states. Look at Abelo in Kogi.
Yeah, but Lagos shouldn't be benchmarked to
No, what I'm telling you is that the
Nigeria.
governance in this state has not been perfect, but it has been a boost 70%. I can tell you because I'm involved. I don't know anybody else. I'm a politician. I'm a journalist. I can tell you the truth in the public space. If you look at the way it has been done for the past 24, 25 years,
Okay.
they got something badly.
Let me break the ice since you're involved. Because we're almost out of time, this is a conversation we'd like to extend. Hopefully we'll get the gentleman back into the studio so we can look at it. And one of the aspects we want to look at is, just briefly, two questions, two in one. One, is there a possibility that you have said it's finished for Obasa, it's not coming back again? Do you think so? Do you think
Obasa is a corner? But you see, there are two things there. One, if he was mature enough, play it cool, consult, they give him soft landing. Two, Obasa is playing the Oshodi way. In other words, trying to reject his removal, create crisis. They can call them to the table and discuss. And by calling them to the table, they give him something. That what is. But the man is a gun and he's dead as dodo. Yeah.
Finally, from my end, before we go straight to Benga, we've heard that Obasa, there's no room, there's no opportunity, and so on. Do you think that, first of all, who do you think the APC will be looking to field, especially for the 2027 governorship? It seems to be a tussle for them. I mean, as an opposition party, I don't want to go to Haruna. As an opposition party, there should be some form of information filtering in. They've talked about Sheyi Tinubu. We don't know how true that is.
And just to add to what Joe has said, why is it that when it comes to gubernatorial elections in Lagos State, the PDP waits till the penultimate year of these elections, or the year before we see a face? They don't do active opposition. We hardly hear statements. It's almost like the Lagos State government has a free rein.
You're right. Lagos State PDP has been very dysfunctional. And the last 2023 election was worse than we've ever seen. We have had elections in Lagos State, though we didn't win. We have scored 42%. We have scored 38%. The worst we had before 2023 was 2019, when we scored 21% for the governor. So it's not been that bad. But PDP, you see, PDP has been confronted in Lagos State with the might of one of the most tactful politicians in the history of Nigeria, that's Tinubu. I disagree that elections have been credible. You used the example of Obi winning. That was because Tinubu's attention was turned away. The minute the governorship election came, what happened? What normally happens, happened again. There was no way Sanwo-Olu could have won that election if it was not rigged. And this is what happened. They intimidated the Labour Party votes. We were not contending because we had a lot of problems within PDP. But the Labour Party candidate, Viva, would have won that election if not for all sorts of pressures, all sorts of manipulations, all sorts of corruption. That is what happens in Lagos State politics, governorship election. And it happened again. And that's what's been happening. Now, you say there's a crisis. There's no crisis in APC. If 32, this is what I tell them too in PDP. When they say we have a crisis, I say no. Look, if 32 people out of 40 are going in one direction, there's no crisis. There will be a crisis if it was almost 50-50. That's when you have a problem. The reason why Obasa is not going to be able to create a crisis is because he has no support. I know Senator Adefuye spoke in his favor recently. That's not enough. In the GAC, they have come together, they know what to do to win election, they rig it, they intimidate Igbo votes, they make sure that, anybody who they intimidate people, they terrorize people, elections. Look, Lagos State Electoral Commission, just like any other state where the ruling party will make sure that the whole process, nobody wins election in Nigeria if the party in control of the state is in one way, you come from another party to win, you can't win. Because the whole INEC, the local INEC is already rigged. By the way, elections in Nigeria, until the president of Nigeria ceases to be the one appointing the INEC chairman and the INEC commissioners, there will not be a credible election in Nigeria. 2027, we know now, whoever, is it Yakubu that is going to do a credible, has he ever done a credible election? Please, let's face it, we have that problem. So I don't see a crisis in APC that is going to give room for PDP. What PDP has to do is to get itself in order. And what happens is not that we bring out a candidate late. That's not the issue. That's not how elections are won. Elections are won long before. And we think that, especially the primaries, once you get your primaries wrong, you have a problem. And that's what happened to us in 2023. This time around, if we get it right, we have enough quality in the party to win election if INEC does not rig it. Because, the national chairman of APC has said severally After Edo, he said it. We are going to use this template to take over Nigeria. In other words, the template is rig the election. Take care of INEC, and INEC will take care of the election for you. That's the unfortunate situation we're in.
Well, I'm sure this is a conversation that we'd like to have again. Hopefully, we'll look at the elections ahead of 2027 and the possibilities for both the APC and, of course, the PDP. Well, our time here is well spent. I want to thank you so much, Mr. Baruna, for being here and touching on the drama in the Lagos State House of Assembly. Thank you so much, Dr. Pearse.
Thank you, Dr. Pearse.
For being here as well. Thank you.